Before we get started on this episode of Real Nerds Podcast, remember you can connect to the Real Nerds in many ways. You can follow us on Twitter at Real Nerds. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. You can also call us 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic Con 2016 and forever. I am Ryan. With me always is...
my mouth is full of gummy bears.
Gummy bears?
Gummy bears. How you doing, Ryan?
Good, James. How are you?
Good.
Brad is... what do they say on radio all the time?
Infligante delecto.
No, he's
I
like
think that
on
means having
assignment.
sex. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's on assignment.
Brad's on assignment.
He's directing.
He is. He's shooting things, as always. So, no Brad this week. If you're wondering what we do on Real Nerds Podcast, every week we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience to the world. This week we saw M. Night Shyamalan's latest thriller, The Visit.
Ta-da!
Dun, dun, dun.
I've always been afraid of old people.
Yeah?
Yeah. I had this experience when I was a kid where, like, we went to my grandparents' retirement home in Boca, and I was probably like 8, and there was this old guy in a wheelchair in the hallway, and he thought I was cute, and it scared me.
That is weird, though. Some old guy's like,
just what,
you're cute.
No, that's what old people do, because they're like, oh man, kids. They just, I mean, that's what my dad immediately like explained to me as we got in the elevator and got away from that kid, or from that dude. But it was creepy at the time. I was like, why does that guy want to like touch my cheek? It's because he thinks I'm cute.
Dude, you should never allow an old person to touch you.
Oh, I don't think he allowed him to touch me. I'm just saying, like, my dad noticed, like, oh man, that scared the shit out of James. Because that guy was old.
You know, your dad was curious about this movie. Is your dad a Shyamalan fan?
Yeah, my whole family's.
Really?
Well, I mean, they are because I've sheltered them from the darkness. So they haven't
Lady
seen
in
The Happening.
Water and The Happening?
They've seen Lady in the Water, but they haven't seen The Happening or The Last Airbender, which everyone forgets about.
Or After Earth?
They haven't seen After Earth either, no. After Earth is not as bad as those other two, but it's not a Shyamalan movie. It's just kind of a mess, as I remember.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. You saw it, and I never had it. Because I forget why I didn't see it. I was probably doing something.
Because it was a Shyamalan movie.
Oh,
why
yeah.
Did you see a Shyamalan movie voluntarily?
Right.
Only reason you saw the one today is because there's nothing else
Isn't
in
that
theaters.
amazing? I could even look at like the independent stuff and say,
No.
oh, I'll see something interesting. Nothing seemed interesting to me.
No, I can't go to an independent theater and see anything. Like there's
The
nothing.
AMC 24 didn't have any. I couldn't
Nope.
believe
Nope.
the AMC 24 didn't have Sleeping with Friends.
Yeah, no,
Because that's
nobody-
usually my
sleeping with other people.
sleeping with other people. That's usually my go-to. You know, if I can't find anything, that one has 24 theater, so there's a chance
Right.
something silly is there.
Yeah. I mean, if I could see Alison Brie in a movie called Sleeping with Other People, I would see that movie.
Exactly.
But if it's not in my town, like, then I'm forced to go see M. Night Shyamalan's return to a genre he's never done before.
Yeah.
So-
M. Night Shyamalan.
Anyway, we'll review that at the end of the episode, and stay tuned for that, because I think that's going to be an interesting conversation. Yeah.
We also talk about movies we've been watching, movie news, box office predictions for next week.
Yeah.
Comic books. I forget what else we talk about. Movie releases on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just a movie podcast. We like to have fun. But one of the great things about living in the great state of Colorado and being in Denver is we have the best movie theater in town.
Yeah.
Right in town.
I mean, there are other towns that have that movie theater.
I know I messed that up. We still have the best movie theater in the world. Because here's the thing, is I love the Alamo Littleton.
Yeah.
I love it so much that I forgot that Gretchen from the Alamo Denver
Oh. Right.
works there.
Yes, that's right. I knew that.
And she's
Now I
in the
feel
back
bad.
of house.
Yeah.
And she presented movies, and I feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
So Gretchen, I'll never forget you ever again.
You are an asshole.
You didn't know her either, asshole. But she had a good sport about it. She sent us a tweet saying she's laughing at, for them trying to figure out who she is. We do know who you are.
I did know a Gretchen in college, but she's never listened to this show, so that's part of why I was confused. I'll give myself.
You're just easily confused. I think
I was high.
No, you weren't.
No,
You
I
don't do
wasn't.
drugs.
I've never. Done
I hope you don't.
No, I don't.
You wouldn't be my friend.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
the stakes are high now.
Hey man.
Get it? The stakes are high. I'm out.
Anyways, what's cool about the Alamo Draft House is they're always playing something unique and interesting.
I saw a lot of unique and interesting stuff this last week that we'll talk about.
Sweet. So,
but what's coming up?
This
Ryan?
is what's coming up next week at the Alamo Draft House.
Hey kids, how would you like to hear this on the screen instead of the great show you came to see? That's what you sound like. Honest. Please cooperate and do your part in keeping this theater quiet so everyone, including you, can enjoy it. Thank you.
Oh, good job.
By the way, before I get into that, you did a great job on the film Explosion.
Oh, thank you.
I love all the stuff you put in.
Oh, yeah.
You put the Goofy movie. I was at Target.
That song is catchy as fuck.
I was at Target today, and they had a Goofy movie and an extremely Goofy movie.
Yeah.
And I was going to get them for you, but I'm hoping that they're going to put them on Blu-ray eventually.
Oh, this wasn't Blu-ray? Yeah, I don't want that. I need my Goofy movie to be crisp and clear on high definition.
I'm surprised it isn't on Blu-ray. I said that last
Yeah.
week. I'm surprised they don't have maybe this year they'll put it on a double feature.
Yeah.
Anyways, at the Alamo.
Are they showing the Goofy movie?
I wish.
Oh, man.
They are showing big screen classics as Chinatown.
Oh, all right.
Which I'll never see because it's a Roman Polanski movie.
Yep, same here.
Is that weird for me? Like, I usually don't do that kind of stuff, but his crime is so heinous that I don't like him.
I also don't like his movies. Like, of the ones I've seen, I don't care for them. So, I don't need to make time.
Good.
There's a lot of good movies out there.
Yep. Like this one, the craft dinner is E.T., the extraterrestrial with New Belgium Brewing.
Son of a bitch. It's funny, after the Colored Purple Brad and I were leaving, and my folks were like, oh man, you should find out if they'll let you host the E.T., just because that would be pretty...
that would be awesome.
A little disturbing, yeah.
The American Astronaut in 35 millimeter.
Have you ever seen that movie?
I haven't.
My RA in college, that was his favorite movie. He lent it to me, and it's weird as shit, and I don't know what is happening. So no one can explain it to me. So if somebody out there really loves the American Astronaut, please tell me why.
And you're seeing it in film, so if you want to go to it, check it out. 35 millimeter, that's awesome.
Yeah.
IFC has a free screening of Goon. Have you seen Goon? It's awesome.
Yes, Goon's a good movie. Yeah.
Science Friction is Metropolis with live score by DJ Ultraviolet.
Also an awesome movie. Wait, are they rescoring the whole movie?
They have to be because who's DJ Ultraviolet? I don't know.
But why would they rescore the whole? Maybe they're only rescoring parts of it.
I'm not sure
because the movie has.
I have heard that it's pretty fun because there's some other people around town that do live music for it.
Okay.
So I heard it's pretty fun.
Have you ever seen Metropolis?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. It's an interesting watch. It's not the most engrossing.
It's weird because it's a silent film that's like 2.5 hours long. So
it's an epic.
It's
a sci-fi
hard to
epic.
get through.
There's 20 minutes of a guy moving a clock around. It's a metaphor.
The Cinema Cocktails is Catch Me If You Can.
Hell yes.
Right?
What day is that? Does they say what day that is?
I don't have a date.
Oh, man.
I know. Sometimes I get dates, sometimes I don't. But
All
just log on to their app or their website.
Yeah.
They'll have it. Just know it's next week.
Oh, man.
Mile High Sci-Fi versus Big Trouble in Little China.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. Monster Zero and War of Gargantuans is a double feature.
All right.
Gargantuas, sorry. And Empire of the Sun is also playing. Remember, this month is Spielberg month at the Alamo
September.
Draft
House. That's another like deep cut of Spielberg movies. They did a good job picking Spielberg movies this year.
I know they showed Jaws back-to-back weeks. I was almost tempted to see Jaws last night.
Yeah, I saw Jaws. Not last night, but I saw Jaws.
I was sitting there and says, I'm going to see The Visit. And then I saw the poster for Jaws. I'm like, maybe I should see Jaws. Because they were playing at the same time.
Yeah. Is it entirely possible that you could have like gone to see Jaws and then just made up, like faked your way through a review of The Visit?
Probably. So make sure you log on to alamodrafthouse.com and select the Littleton location or the Denver location. I think it says Denver/Littleton.
Or if you don't live in that area, select a different Alamo Draft
Yeah,
House.
Kalamazoo, Austin.
Is there one in Kalamazoo?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just joking.
I'm not joking. I'll double check real fast, but
right.
I'm pretty sure that's where one of them are.
That's funny.
But yeah, the Alamo Draft House is really easy to get movies. And I also got the movie. Actually, I shouldn't complain too much. It was free for me yesterday.
Yeah.
I got a free ticket for my birthday. Yeah, Kalamazoo.
Wow.
and I wanted to use it, and for some reason it wouldn't let it select. And I was like, oh, maybe it's because it can't be like the first day or something.
Yeah.
That came out, and I forget who the ticket person was, but he says, it's all right, man. I'll give it to you anyways.
Nice.
So yeah, that was nice of him.
Well,
And
you've been there a lot.
I have. But still, I mean, I told him he didn't have to. He says, well, you want to pay for it? I said, no. So that's pretty nice.
That's pretty good.
We have some cool things going on this week.
Yeah.
Fan-wise. So we got a report from Telluride from, speaking of Alamo, Steve and Kendall. And we'll read that in the news section.
Yeah.
We'll use them as they were our reporters for us.
Yeah.
But we got a phone call from Mr. Zach Eastman. And so I'm going to play that for you right now.
Okay.
Hey, Ryan, James, and Brad. How y'all doing? I'm sending some love from Costa Mesa, California. I heard the film Explosion, and I wanted to clarify the movie Clockers for you guys. Clockers is a Spike Lee movie with Delroy Lindo, and it's essentially about drug dealers within the city of Brooklyn over the span of a 24-hour period. Visually stunning, very well acted. Martin Scorsese was the presenter, like how they have Quentin Tarantino presents Hero. This was Martin Scorsese presents Clockers. So it was a very visceral film when I first saw it in film school, and from a film from '95, like it certainly was my primo choice for the for the type of gangster film type of vibe. I believe Casino came out the same year, but if I have to choose between the two, as much as I love Scorsese, I'd have to go with Clockers, which is why I placed it at number 3. Sending you some love. We'll be in town on from October 4th to 17th, and I might be bringing a little surprise, but I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks for calling, Zach. As always, my favorite part about it is that he's going to be here October 4th through the 17th.
Yeah.
So we'll get him back on the show.
Yeah, cool. That'll be fun. That'll be either The Martian or... what's the week after The Martian? October's a great month. Man. There's almost too much stuff.
And I have to say that he sticks up for Spike Lee really grinds my gears.
Spike Lee's a racist.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I don't think his movies are that good.
Yeah, that's the real problem. Inside Man is good.
Yeah, it's
Inside
good,
Man.
but...
Miracle at St. Anna, I should have walked out of. And I've never walked out of a movie, but I...
That's what I mean. He just...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't like directors that hate me.
Right?
You know? I don't hate him.
You don't? That's really sweet.
Anyway.
So thank you, Zach. And yeah, we look forward to you being here in the middle of October.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So what are we starting with, James?
Well, let's start with some news.
Cool.
In other news, the Prime Minister of Sweden visited Washington today, and my tiny little nipples went to France.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell.
I do the cha-cha like a sissy girl.
Oh, it's the ghost of Stonewall Jackson! Everyone, it's the ghost of Stonewall Jackson!
I do the cha-cha. I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties.
Telluride Horror Show, Telluride Film Festival was happening this week.
It was.
So we got a lot of stuff from Steve. Ryan, do you have that?
I have it handy, or did you want to read it?
No, you go ahead and I'll get Kendall's ready.
Cool. So Steve's email is Telluride. My favorite film at Telluride was Charlie Kaufman's latest shotgun-swallowing saga, Anomalisa? Anomalisa, is that right?
I don't know.
Anomalisa. I mean, that's how it's, like, phonetically.
I think yeah.
Anomalisa, which bathes in a completely different kind of sad, surreal being stop motion.
Steve, if you wanted us to be respectful, you should have just called in and left a voicemail.
See it as soon as you can. So it's stop motion, and it's Charlie Kaufman. He always makes weird films.
Yeah.
But interesting. I would never...
It's the kind of thing that I would expect Steve to like, but I'll check it out.
Yep. Steve Jobs is excellent. If you're expecting a quippy Sorkin-penned keynote speeches, you will be disappointed. Given that Sorkin's strong suit isn't the nitty-gritty behind the scenes, Fassbender and Winslet are impeccable.
What he's talking about in nitty-gritty behind the scenes is the hallway scenes as they are on their way to the keynote speeches. Those are and that is actually what I wanted. So I'm really excited by his review.
Yep. Black Mass is a clown car of a film, trying to pack in as many goofy performances into this tiny train wreck. It does absolutely nothing for the gangster genre or for the Whitey Bulger as lore, which no one really cares about unless you're from Boston. Scratch that. I'm from Boston. I don't even give a shit.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay, let me read that last part again.
Sure.
Scratch that. I am from Boston, and I don't even give a shit. There we go.
Isn't that what you said?
I emphasized it a little more.
Oh, I get you.
Todd Haynes' Carol is outstanding in all regards and hopefully be your favorite holiday film of 2015.
Huh.
His direction is laser point specific, and Blanchett and Mara are completely aligned in as a beautiful organism. I almost said orgasm because it's
which would have been ironic.
Yeah, I know, because it's a...
It's one of them sex movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'll see. As for cool repertory stuff, if you ever have the chance of watching The Mother and the Whore, the
Mother and the Whore, or
the Mother
and
the Whore,
okay.
WHORE,
like Whore.
Yes, a 4-hour French film that was pretty influential on Noah Baumbach.
Oh, okay.
Or Cocksucker Blues, a rare intimate Rolling Stones concert doc, pretending to be a fictional tale. I fully suggest you take the leap. I shouldn't read these with it like I have a microphone blocking what I'm looking down at, so I'm seeing in my peripheral just nothing but a microphone, and then this is kind of blurry.
You know what's funny is you have arms, and you could lift the
Shut
the
up,
phone
James.
up
I
so
could.
that it's not.
But I would rather try to read and talk like I can't read than do that.
Okay, fair.
So, Steve, thank you so much. I will not see The Mother and the Whore because it's a 4-hour French film.
Oh my goodness, it's 4 hours?
That's what he says. I will not see a 4-hour French film. The French are pretentious enough. I don't need to sit through 4 hours of it.
The Mother and the Whore. The Mother and no.
But you know what, Steve? I'm glad you sat through it and enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you for doing that for us. Give me like a spark note sometime. call in and tell us the plot. Retell us the plot of The Mother and the Whore. Kendall wrote in as well after she heard that we were going to talk about Telluride stuff, and she said, "This is just on Twitter, so it's short. I heard you fellas were talking about Telluride. You guys need to see Rams with an exclamation point." Which I haven't seen a trailer for Rams, so I'm going to go look up a trailer for. Actually, no. If I can find a trailer, it's going to be right here.
Þetta er að standa þig vel. Já. Og býr nú hérna við hliðina. Heldur þú getur nokkuð talað við hann? Þið eru bræður, ekki? Kitty tölum ekki saman.
Ekki það. Og sigurvegarinn í ár er Kristinn Böðvarsson með Hrútingsbrota. Já.
Riðuveiki er komin upp á bænum Bólstað í Bárðardal. Þetta í fyrsta sinn sem veikin kemur upp í dalnum.
Þeir telja að samgangurinn sé það mikill að ef eigi að útrýma veikinni þá verður að skera allan dalinn.
And if I didn't find a trailer, you just heard a trailer to a movie that I really like. So I hope that I found one. Anyway, cool. Thanks, guys. That was cool.
We appreciate it.
In other news, I was really happy I got to say that. Anyway, in other news, Olivia Jackson, who's a stunt woman, who's been in Star
Good news,
Wars.
dude. I found the trailer just by typing in Rams movie online.
Oh, good. Is it a movie about the CSU Rams?
No.
Oh.
It is
entertaining.
It's an Icelandic drama film directed by Grímur Hugginsson.
Oh, did you just have a seizure?
No, I mean, if you can read that name.
Grímur Hakanarsson.
Yeah, basically what I said.
Hakanarsson. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
right, cool.
You know, so cool. So I hope you enjoyed that trailer.
Did we just make everybody listen to like 2 minutes of people talking in Icelandic?
Probably.
Oh, that's interesting. That's always good podcasting.
Yep.
So Olivia Jackson, she's a stunt woman who's worked on Star Wars. She worked on Mad Max, and then she was filming for Resident Evil. Is in a coma this week. There was an accident on the set of Resident Evil where she was basically just driving a motorcycle and a camera. From the description, I can tell what the shot was. It was one of those, like, drive a motorcycle towards this camera, and then the camera will lift off as soon as you're going to hit the camera. Mm-hmm. But there was a bug in the mechanism that lifts the camera, and so she hit the camera.
And she's a stunt woman?
Yeah, she's a stunt woman. Her husband's a stuntman as well, who is on a bunch of stuff. He was also in, I think, Mad Max and Star Wars. And anyway, so, hopefully she is going to pull out, but right now she is still sort of fighting for her life. So, just keep an eye on that.
Get well.
Yeah, hopefully everything there is going to be okay. She seems like a badass. Like, the pictures of her on the set of Mad Max and Star Wars look really cool.
Was she trying to escape an underground lair?
No, she was Charlize Theron's.
That was my Paul W. Sanderson joke.
Oh, you mean in Resident? No,
Yeah.
I mean she was outside. Where were they filming? They were filming in Johannesburg. So there's probably the underground layer is probably under Johannesburg.
Yeah, I mean she's probably coming out of it.
Yeah, it's probably for the end of the movie. She rides a motorcycle out of the underground layer.
But yeah, get well.
Yeah, that's too bad. So in other news, we have a poster for that Preacher thing that's not going to happen.
Oh yeah.
They picked that show up for a full season that'll never air, and no, they picked it up for a full season, and Seth Rogen released a poster that's awesome. Basically, he took it looks kind of like the original poster for Preacher, only it's a church, old Western church, but instead of having the face of Jesse Custer behind it, the whole thing is just upside down. So it's a really striking.
If people could see you right now, you were looking in the distance and describing.
And then
it.
I flipped my hand upside down.
That's
rotate
also
the church.
great podcasting.
Yeah, always good. So I guess that's gonna happen.
It's happening, dude. I've seen stills from it.
I know. I've seen the side of Arseface's head. In other comic book movie news, Zoe Saldana is going to be in I Kill Giants.
Awesome.
I know. They cast a girl that I don't think I've ever seen.
What part is she playing?
She's going to play the school counselor.
Awesome.
Millay, I believe her name was, Miss Millay. And they cast a little girl a couple weeks ago for the part of
I still can't believe
Barbara.
that movie's happening.
Yeah, this is one that this is like the opposite of Preacher. Like, my gut tells me this is going to fall apart somewhere, but I'm terrified of that. So I'm just going to talk as if this movie is the next Star Wars and isn't like an inevitable thing that's going to happen.
And that's supposed to come out next year, so.
Yeah. Director's a director who won the Academy Award, I think in 2014 for Best Short. It seems like a good.
It'll happen because here's the thing: is what people don't know about comic book writer Joe Kelly is he's also a huge Hollywood guy.
Oh yeah,
like producer wise, and so it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. My hope is just that it turns out really good, and I kind of hope that they animate some of it.
Yeah,
like I hope they do like a hand animation for the Pixies and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be sweet, kind of like a Roger Rabbit kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I don't know if you want to do the Giants that way, but I would hate for there to be like CG Pixies.
Yeah.
But that's just what I would want. I just want a good movie. As long as Barbara gets off the bus and lifts up her shirt to look at her little pot belly, I will be fine. As long as that shot is in the movie. If that shot's not in the movie, I will fucking hate this movie. But as long as that's in the movie, then I'll be fine. So anyway, Netflix is going to pick up Black Mirror and do a couple episodes of that. Who knows for how long, but that's that show that I talked about a few weeks ago.
That you didn't like, but everybody else likes?
Like
Orphan Black?
Yes, right. Yeah, it's palatable like other BBC science fiction. So, and it's not unfair. I mean, there's a lot of American science fiction that's also palatable at best.
Yeah.
So, like that Halle Berry show.
I never watched it.
I watched some of it. It was palatable. And then the very last thing that I want to sort of discuss here is Steven Spielberg was sort of in the news this week. It's funny because he doesn't ever talk about anything else, but when he says something like incendiary, then it becomes news. He said this week in an interview that he thinks that comic book movies or superhero movies are going to go the way of the Western, by which he means like they're still a fad and they will die out. Of course, Zack Snyder jumped on there and said like, I think he's right.
Zack Snyder also said, I think he's right, except for DC movies won't.
Well, yes, but I wanted to leave that part out because
I didn't, because that's part of the quote that is stupid.
I know. I wanted to leave it out because that, just in general, Zack Snyder has said a lot of stupid things about DC recently. Like he said that Superman and Batman aren't flavor of the weeks like Ant-Man. I'm like, yeah, but Ant-Man was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Name me the last fun Superman movie. Man of Steel was fun. But was it good?
Was it fun?
Yeah, there's some big action scenes in that movie. And
I think it's a good movie.
The score's good. The score's really good. But, yeah. Anyway. I'm curious. I wanted to bring it up to see, like, after what is now, feels like 10 years of superhero movies being a big staple of the summer blockbuster.
Spider-Man came out in 2202.
Yeah, but I feel like those first few years, yes, there were a few of them, but they weren't like the domination of the summer blockbusters.
Well, since 2008, 7 years, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really the thing that is I think the question here. I don't think that superhero movies are going to disappear. The question is more, do they become something where you get a couple a year, but they're smaller. They're not the tent poles. Right?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want them. I love superhero movies. I really do. Because I love comics. I love the struggle of heroes. So I don't want anything to happen to them. But I mean, I could see it potentially happening. But then again, you have a movie called Ant-Man that's going to make $200 million in America.
Right.
So for them to completely fall off and not come out a couple of times a year, right. I would be surprised. Because and they'll go through resurgence, even stuff, like animated films. Remember in the early 2000s, nothing cool until the Pixar movie came out once every 3 years.
Yeah.
And then slowly the animated films started picking up again. And I mean, they're all computer animated now, but now you get a plethora of them.
Yeah. Too many.
I think, I think that it'll be all right. I don't see that happening because, I don't know if you put this in your news, but now everybody's trying to, universe build, and now they're going to combine King Kong and Godzilla,
right?
Which I think would be pretty cool. I mean, if they make it a fun movie, I'll see it.
Yeah, I have my good, lovable, pure King Kong films that I can watch when I want a real story. But if I want to watch two giant monsters fight each other, then I want to watch King Kong fight Godzilla.
That new one starts filming, I think, this week with Tom Hiddleston. Kong of Skull Island.
That's right. Yeah, see, that's what I want. I want one of those.
Yeah.
A good adventure movie.
I'm just going to mention they finally released the specs for the Army of Darkness Blu-ray.
Yeah.
From Scream Factory. It's 3 discs.
Oh, that's right, because we didn't talk about that last week.
It has a new hour-and-a-half long documentary. The only thing that bumps me out when I was reading it is Sam Raimi's not in it.
Oh, yeah?
But I don't think he's filming anything either. Oh, no, he was probably doing Evil Dead in... No, because Bruce Campbell's on the documentary.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know. I guess when you make tons of money and you just kind of...
Yeah.
Say what you want. But
maybe he knows there's going to be another edition.
I don't know how they're going to do it because I was reading the specs. There's 4 versions of the film.
Wow.
With like 17 minutes of deleted scenes.
Wow.
The cool thing is hi buddy, is they have obviously the theatrical in high def.
Yeah.
The director's cut in high def.
Yeah.
The international cut in high def. And then another TV version just in standard definition.
Yeah.
But they also have 50 minutes of new behind the scenes from K&B. So I'm really, really excited for this release because it seems like it's finally like the definitive Army of Darkness.
It's the Blu-ray version of the Boomstick edition.
Exactly.
Right? Where the Boomstick edition was the edition of the movie on DVD. This is finally going to be the Blu-ray edition.
And I also wanted to bring up, I was listening to our film Splosion 1995.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the trailer for Cutthroat Island.
Yeah.
And the score they use in the trailer is Army of Darkness.
I know.
It started playing. I said, he's playing Army of Darkness right now?
I know. I noticed that when I cut it together. I was like, wait a second. This isn't the score. Because my brother owned the soundtrack to Cutthroat Island when we were younger. We used to play it in the Lego room all the time. And so I know that score. And so when I started watching that movie, I'm like, wait a second, that's not the theatrical
that
score.
Danny Elfman scores.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be the Michael DeLuca part. Yeah, Danny Elfman only did the March of the Dead, so that was
really?
Michael DeLuca. So, yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I wanted to get back. I think the misconception with the Spielberg thing is that while there's a lot of buzz around the superhero movies, they aren't really the only tentpoles. Like yes, there are these big an Avengers 2 came out this year, but it is shadowed by Jurassic World, right? Like those big budget movies are still being made and are still, it's just that
Have you seen the
everybody
Blu-ray
in the
packaging
culture,
for
everybody's
Jurassic World?
talking about it. No, is it cool?
Yeah, it's just a disc. Like it's a circle disc.
Yeah.
It's like the Amazon exclusive one. It's a circle disc that fits like in a style of a Blu-ray thing, and you like pop the top off, and it's pretty cool.
Interesting.
I know you hate the movie, but
yeah, I don't like it.
I'm gonna get it.
All right. Well, I'll look at your Blu-ray.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. But yeah, I just don't think I think that the real critical question here is more what do they do when we get to a place where even Marvel has to start looking at rebooting stuff, right? If 8 years from now they're like, hey, it's been a while since we had an Iron Man, and it's been a while since we had a Cap.
Throw that they've already done it with Hulk.
Yes, but like that
They've
one,
done it.
that one they did it inside the current universe,
Yeah.
right? So they didn't have to rewrite it.
Oh, so you mean like restart the universe?
Right. That's the question.
I'm guessing after Infinity War, it might be too big where they might have to.
I think that at that point they're trying to launch these other characters so that they can keep it standing on some of the side characters for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is this question of after Infinity War, when you no longer have Chris Evans, you no longer have Robert Downey Jr.
Well, Chris Evans just came out too, said he'll be Captain America as long as they want him to be.
Yeah, but at a certain point, like after another 10 years, he probably isn't. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Of course,
We'll see.
he's got a young enough face. He could probably do
Yeah.
it for a while, but
He is dreamy.
yeah, that to me is the question. Because here's the problem with this. I don't think anybody else has done it well enough that we even ask that question.
Yeah,
if next week they rebooted all of the DC stuff again, no one gives a shit.
Yep.
It's what's probably going to happen, because everything that I'm hearing coming out of this new Batman Superman movie doesn't sound like anything that is going to like stick.
And here's the thing too: is I don't know why Hollywood is so against the superhero stuff. All it does is make them tons of money.
Oh yeah, I mean they're not.
Yes, they are. The real Hollywood people don't like the superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. I remember they were always predicting the demise of it, and it's still.
Oh, yeah.
I still think it's weird. Yeah, maybe Amazing Spider-Man 2 underperformed. It still made $800 million.
Right.
That's not underperforming.
Yeah.
It's just what is underperforming in their eyes.
Right.
And hey, I'm all
it's
for
because-
him going back to Marvel. That's cool, but I'm just saying we live in a world where now. Remember when Ant-Man opened? It didn't open to like $100 million, and it was
Right.
like, "Oh, is this the end of Marvel?" And it's still like in the top 10 in movies right now.
Oh yeah.
So it
Well,
had
the,
legs.
The difference is that everybody expects. It's why I wanted to bring that up. Everybody expects that if it's a Marvel movie, it's going to be the biggest movie of the summer. Well, that's not true, and it has kind of never been true, because nobody's talking about the fact that Jurassic World went on and made $1 billion. They all just think like, oh, well, the Marvel movies are like they're the biggest thing. No, they're not. There's a bunch of movies that are doing more than they are.
Well, that's what I mean too. There's an article on, it's probably on Slash Film, but they said even Disney thinks Avengers 2 is a failure. No, they don't.
Right.
I read the article. It
Right.
still made $1.5 billion.
Right.
That is not a failure because it didn't make 1.6 like Jurassic World.
Yeah.
It just Jurassic World connected domestically more than Avengers did.
Right.
And that might be because no one has seen a real dinosaur movie since 2001.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, there is certainly, there's a lot of Marvel stuff coming out, and there's a lot of people who are going to start falling off because they get tired in the way that the core audience for those movies aren't. My mom, my friends are never going to be people who are like, oh no, I won't go see that movie.
Yeah.
No, they're always going to be a little bit interested in it.
Yeah, that's
it's when the movies get bad that they're not going to
Exactly.
care. It's when they come out with another Green Lantern that's just as bad, or like if they come out with a Wonder Woman that is just as bad as Green Lantern was, people aren't going to show up.
And that's the thing too. And there was an article. It was last week. We didn't do news last week, but Kevin Feige,
Right.
almost quit because he's like, dude, you need to give me more money
Right.
to make these movies cool. And Disney's like, yeah, we'll give you more money because the guy they were dealing with wasn't giving it. And it's not that he was being greedy. He's like, you want to keep making these movies. You want to still make them good. I mean, because basically Civil War is Avengers 3.
Right.
I mean, so yeah. And they know, like, well, if we want $1 billion, we'll spend $300 million.
Yeah. The story's actually a bit more complicated than that because we didn't talk about that last week, but the guy who at Disney was sort of in charge of Marvel, he moved out of the way. Kevin Feige sort of has the reins completely now.
And now all he reports to Bob Iger. So.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to report to anybody at Marvel. Like, Marvel Studios is completely on its own. And then he also broke up the brain trust at Marvel that was working on that stuff, which is interesting because it sounds like it'd be really interesting to hear from like Edgar Wright, who I'm sure is not even allowed to talk about this stuff, but some of the other people who have struggled inside of the Marvel universe to hear if all those voices and all those people talking and all those people with their hands in the pot is a part of why people struggle, you know? It's interesting to see who's been successful in there. You've got people like Joss Whedon who are going to put up with whatever kind of bullshit because that guy has put up with a lot of bullshit, right, to get his movies made. And his passion for the subject matter is such that he's going to do whatever he has to make a movie where a robot comes to life and is evil because he really likes telling those stories. And then you've got people like James Gunn, who I can't believe was as successful as he was. Like, that guy, I feel like everything was against that guy, and somehow he was able to pull it through. But it'd be interesting to see if some of those people say, like, yeah, it was just because there's too many people talking and you don't have any creative control. Which, it's not good or bad. They are putting out movies that are fun. So,
yeah,
you know, if that's what it takes to make that thing a big, cohesive story, then fine, but they just got to not let it suffer as they grow.
Yeah,
so.
And I mean, the point of the story is Marvel's not going to go anywhere for a while.
No, they're not. I think that the question, what'll be interesting is if we see stuff drop off like the Chronicles of the World, the little, you know, either indie movies about superhero topics or just side stories. I think Marvel is going to continue to grow and do really well. You know, they released the trailer for, it's not even a trailer, it's like a teaser intro thing for Jessica Jones this week. And I don't know shit all about Jessica Jones, but I was like, okay, sure, I'll watch that show.
It's a cool story. It has Alias, where is her comic, and that obviously they can't call it Alias, but
right.
There's a great Spider-Man story in it. I forget, I think it's issue 7 or something, but it's a great Spider-Man story.
That's cool.
Because the story is she had superpowers and lost them.
Right.
And then she becomes like a private investigator.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome.
Isn't that a Bendis story?
It is Bendis.
Isn't that the same story as Powers?
Kind of, yeah.
Except one of them is a murder mystery.
And one of them's in the Marvel Universe.
That's true. That's true.
Also, speaking of Marvel, Captain Marvel, Rebecca Ferguson is starting to be circled for that.
I know. I like that casting.
I like that casting. And they were also talking about Emily Blunt. I think she'd be really good, too.
Oh, she'd be really good.
She obviously shows she can do it from Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because she's a badass.
Yeah.
And I want to see Sicario so bad. Because I think
that movie looks
awesome
good. Yeah.
In it. So, yeah. So,
anyway.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, everything will
People
be
are going to keep making good movies. They're also going to keep making shit movies.
Yep.
What are we doing next, Ryan?
Let's see what's coming out on Blu-ray.
By the power of Grayskull. Point Break or Bad Boys 2?
Which one do you think I'll prefer?
No, I mean, which one do you want to watch first?
You are pulling my leg.
This is the week of Furious 7.
Nice.
So not only can you get Furious 7 Extended Edition on Blu-ray, but you can also get like a big box set of all 7 of them, shaped like a wheel, because cars, man. So, yeah, I guess. Are you gonna buy 7?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I might. I don't know.
I don't want to buy all 7 of them because I've never seen 3, but I heard it's horrible. And Tokyo Drift. And then I saw 4 with my wife. That's the first one I ever saw, actually, and it was not
really
good.
Yeah, 4's not. Yeah.
So I haven't seen 2 yet. I got it at Tradesmart for $3.
I don't think I own any of them, so maybe it would be a good idea. Maybe I'll wait and see. Like, I'll wait till that 7 disc set gets cheap.
Yeah.
And get that one.
Bad
Because I
idea.
don't want to. Well, no, I own 5 because that's the best one.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of okay. Unlike Resident Evil, where I own all of them and I don't know why, I'm kind of okay only owning Fast 5. But we'll see. Maybe I'll pick it up at some point. Cinderella.
I do really want to see that because I love Kenneth Branagh. And the only thing that was interesting about that and why I never saw it in theaters is because it just looked nothing. It really seemed like it didn't bring anything new to the Cinderella story.
So
it seems like it's a live action version of the cartoon.
It is, but it is very well made.
You've seen it?
Oh yeah, I saw it in theaters.
Oh, that's right. I don't remember. It came out so long ago in theaters.
Yeah, it did. Yes, it is very much just Cinderella. So if you know the story of Cinderella, that's what's going to happen. But the acting is it's fantastic. The way he tells the story is really good.
it looks beautiful.
I was moved by this version.
So
and considering that you know it's coming, like, you know what's going to happen, and yet still, like, it packs enough of an emotional punch that it's pretty good.
See,
it
now I
goes,
might have to get it because I love Disney. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
you got me.
It has just enough ever after in there to be like, oh, okay, all right, like you're taking this a bit more seriously, because the cartoon's going to shy away from some of the darker stuff, whereas there's a good portion at the beginning of the movie with her father in the movie where that sets a tone that is slightly different than the cartoon.
Maybe that's why it was so successful, though. I know it made a lot of money.
Yeah.
So.
It was good. It was good.
There is the wheel.
Yeah. Season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming out this week.
Amazon exclusive.
Oh, is it really?
That's what it says at the top.
Oh, man, you're right. Wow. That's
for the Blu-ray.
That's pretty crazy.
I know Agent Carter is, too. Does that come out this week?
It does come out this week.
Look how cool that cover is,
I
dude.
know. Agent Carter I'm definitely going to pick up. I guess I should pick up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I never finished season 2, but I don't know, man.
Agent Carter's badass. I loved that
Agent
series.
Carter's great. Yeah, it's really good. So yeah, at the very least, go pick up Agent Carter.
And that's an Amazon exclusive too, so make sure you order it.
So yeah, don't go pick up anything.
I mean, don't get it on DVD. Get it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's like $30.
Right. They're putting out a complete Adventures of Lost in Space Blu-ray this week.
All right.
So if you want to go watch all of the old Lost in Space TV show, you can do that. There's a movie with Elizabeth Banks and Paul
I saw
Dano
that.
and John Cusack.
You were there
called Love and
the
Mercy.
week when I talked about that?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the
Beach Boy movie.
The Beach Boys movies. Yeah, you said that was good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's one of those movies that I'm not going to get when it comes out, but when it's like $4, I'll get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I will try to check that out. Season 2 of Sleepy Hollow is out this week, which I've never given a shot. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. What is this?
That's actually a big deal. I'll give you a little background on that. So Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers is Halloween 6.
Okay.
It was made, and when the studio saw the film, which happened to be Dimension, they said, oh, this movie is kind of boring and doesn't make any sense. So we need you to cut the last third of it, reshoot the last third, add a bunch of gore to it, and then we'll release the movie. So the producer's cut is weird and is not as violent. It has a little more story to it, but it doesn't make it better. The movie is still a mess. This is like Zach Eastman's big thing, but that they have it now as a single Blu-ray, because before you could only get it
as a part of that
in the
big
huge
set.
limited edition set.
Gotcha.
It still doesn't make it a good movie. In fact, I actually prefer the over the top more.
Yeah.
Because the problem is and I'll spoil. Oh, should I spoil this for her fans? I won't. But I will tell you that the ending is very anticlimactic.
Okay.
And it makes absolutely no sense.
Okay.
So the ending for the theatrical version is him chasing Paul Rudd through a hospital and they like fight.
Sure.
And gore happens.
Sure.
So it's really cool that they're putting that out so people can finally see it. It was, even as a fan of the Halloween, I always wanted to see it because it was mythical for a long time. Saying, oh, if you could only see the producer's cut. And
it's buried out there, man. Someday you'll see.
Yeah.
Then you'll know. You'll know the truth.
You can't really blame the guys who made it because Halloween 5, they kind of painted the person making Halloween 6 in a corner.
Yeah.
Having to explain all the stupid shit from Halloween 5.
It's 5 where it's like, oh, he's cursed and like.
Yeah, and he has like the mark of the thorn where he's been switched it. He's like the devil. I don't even remember. It's something he was born with a mark it's like End of Days with Schwarzenegger.
Whoa.
Where the baby has like the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
That's like Michael Myers. It's really weird.
All right.
I can't explain it because it's convoluted and stupid.
That really undermines the like story of the first movie.
Exactly. That's why people, when you ask people, they say Halloween 1, 2, and 4 are amazing. And then 5 and 6 kind of undermine the whole series. Because they try to, anytime you try to explain a monster, it takes away who he is.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, especially in that case, because I think it's interesting that as somebody who's never liked it, who doesn't really like horror movies and has never produced a Halloween movie, it took me all of 2 seconds to tell you that was a bad idea for Michael Myers. Because like the scary thing of the original Halloween is that like
he just kills his sister.
Yeah, this kid just kills people, and you're like, whoa, like what, how, why?
Exactly.
You know. And then he gets free, and then he goes and tries to kill what's her face, and he walks across the stream, across the street in a Steadicam shot, and you're like, what?
Yep.
Steadicams.
That's
what I remember of that movie.
No, Halloween's an amazing piece of horror cinema, but Halloween 6 is not good. But if you're curious about the unrated producer's cut,
this is how you see it.
This is how you see it. Unless you, like me, and you have the limited edition stuff. But
right. Which I would kind of expect that if you are curious about that cut, you probably have the limited edition.
Would be my guess, but
it's
it's available to you now.
Cool. Jumanji's getting a Blu-ray release this week. What's interesting about this for me is that it's called the Anniversary Edition, but it doesn't say like 10-year anniversary edition. Just hey, this is an anniversary.
What year did that come out in?
I don't know. Probably 95.
Is it 95?
I would think so. I'm not 100% sure.
Let me look it up real fast.
You look it up while I talk about The Jinx. So HBO's The Jinx is coming out on Blu-ray this week, so you can get a chance to check that out. That's the show that I talked about a while back about Robert Durst, which is a fascinating... 95. Oh, man, I'm good.
You are good.
Also, that's the only way it would make sense for them to call it an anniversary edition, like because then it would be 20 years. So, and that makes me kind of want to forgive how bad the CG is. Like the fact that CG is 20 years old and those monkeys, at least look like monkeys.
We interviewed the guy who worked on that.
Yeah, the movie doesn't look very good now. So The Jinx is terrifying, and I don't even know that I would tell anybody to own it. Like you should just get it. Like, go watch it on HBO Go, and then don't ever watch it again, because it's a terrible, horrible thing that will screw with your brain. What is The Legacy, Ryan?
I'm not sure. It's Scream Factory, though. It's one I've never seen.
I believe this is a movie about a killer hand that has the head of a cat attached to its wrist.
Mm-hmm. Through the sky?
Yeah, and it runs around outside, because there's a window in the background. It is the birthright of living death.
I know Sam Elliott's in it. Does that help anybody?
Kind of, because it kind of looks like the cat's got a mustache.
It does.
So
maybe Sam Elliott turns into a cat?
Sam Elliott turns into a cat that gets beheaded, sewn onto the hand of a witch, and then runs around on that hand and tries to kill people with its long red fingernails. That's the story of The Legacy. Check it out. All right. There's a badass re-release of Mad Max that I own Mad Max, the original Mad Max, twice now because they keep putting out cool releases. This one's just a red case.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like that Terminator that they re-released.
Yeah.
You have the Scream Factory one. I don't think you need another one.
No, I don't. I don't need another one, but I won't buy another one, but just if you really like Blu-ray cases, go check this one out. There's some horror movie called Dust Devil, which I just think is a horrible name for a horror movie because it just sounds like you're going to get attacked by annoying wind.
House of the Long Shadows.
Yeah, so there's a Vincent Price movie with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing called House of the Long Shadows that just looks awesome. Look at this. Like, it's just 4 old guys in a painting. One of them's got like a flare, and one of them's got a giant axe, and one of them's got like one of those like things you whip people with. It's like a piece of leather with some beads or whatever on it. And then there's Vincent Price. I don't know what it is, but it kind of looks cool. And John Carradine's in there.
Right on.
Interesting. And then the very last thing is that they're putting out a huge Blu-ray James Bond Ultimate Collection with everything in it. And then like it looks like all of them are getting released individually as well.
They do that every time there's a new James Bond coming out.
Yeah. So this is your chance to buy it all again if you want to. Yeah. I've been curious about it because I only own the
Daniel Craig ones.
Yeah, and I just own the 2 good ones. So I've been sort of curious about like, oh man, I should go and like watch some of the old ones. But I don't know that I want to like. I don't know that I want to buy all of them. That seems like a lot. It's a little overwhelming. So, anyway,
lots of stuff this week.
Yeah. We strategically didn't talk about The Big Bang Theory coming out. So, what do we do next?
What did we watch this week?
Now, everybody, close your eyes and concentrate.
This is my boomstick.
Do you want to take a leap of faith?
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Take only a nudge to make you like me, to push you out of the light.
Now you're getting nasty.
So I saw just a couple things.
Cool.
I got Backcountry because...
Oh, dude, that's the movie about the ghost bear.
Yeah, so when I was at Best Buy, I got... for my birthday, my in-laws always give me money or gift certificates to Best Buy.
Sure.
So I went to Best Buy, and it was $20 on Amazon. It was only $10 at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And when I heard that Brad's parents said it's violent and gross, I was like, oh, I got to see this movie. And it's not a horror film, actually. It's a movie about...
Is it about like a little boy who befriends a ghost bear?
That'd be sweet if it did, but... it's actually a story about campers who decide to go off the beaten path, obviously.
Right.
And they're attacked by a bear, and it's basically a survival movie.
A ghost bear?
No, a real bear.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this is like the son of the bear that's now dead.
Yes.
It's gotta
seeking
like
revenge.
Get revenge for its killed.
It's Bear the Revenge.
Yeah. The ghost is like a metaphor.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha.
No, the movie's actually really good. It's a really small kind of film, but it's shot really well and interesting. You know, when they're attacked by the bear, and I mean, that's really the premise: is they go camping and then they're attacked by a bear.
Right.
I can't really explain it better. But anyways, he kind of uses this. Let's say a character gets hit or attacked by the bear.
Sure.
Then the camera kind of loses focus and has a hard time keeping on the characters and stuff. So it's basically saying, "Oh, this is what the character is going through the
disoriented.
Camera." It's disoriented. Yes, exactly. So the movie's pretty well done. There is some pretty gruesome. Well, there's one gruesome scene in it. I don't know if it's because I've seen so many horror films. I mean, it's still gross, but it's not. You know, it's not my level of gross, if that makes any sense at all.
When the bear attacks them, does Werner Herzog come in and like narrate the scene?
That'd be sweet.
And then the bear comes in.
I will say it is more satisfying because you do see somebody get killed by a bear.
Oh, okay. All
so
right.
It's not, Grizzly Man. It's interesting, and the performances are really good because where the Blair Witch Project, even though I love the director of Blair Witch Project, I think sometimes the dialogue sucks because it isn't written. It's having actors trying to convey it and not accomplished actors.
Right.
But this one...
It was made for like $26 in 1998.
Exactly.
So like you give that movie some caveats.
Exactly. So, but this one, the lead actress, she says some things and it seems more real.
Mm-hmm.
She says hurtful things, but if you were scared and lost, maybe you'd probably say it too.
No.
And then eventually you'd say, yeah, I don't.
She's like, I don't even like bears. I think bears are stupid.
Bears are stupid. Yeah, so when the bear attacks, it reminded me a lot, though, of Willow Creek, where it's two people in a tent.
In a tent, like, where's the bear?
Yeah, and the bear is, stalking them outside. And
yeah. Only at least in this case, you believe that there is a bear, and it's not just maybe it's a Sasquatch.
But they actually do there's some really cool shots of the bear actually hunting them.
Yeah.
Because the bear attack's really only in it for maybe 10 minutes, and it's towards the end of the film.
Sure.
So the rest of the time is they'll be sleeping in the tent, and you see the bear like pushing its nose against the tent, trying to find them. So
That's
it's pretty well done. I actually really enjoyed the film. So if you're interested in a survival movie, again, it's put out by Scream Factory, but it's not really a horror film.
Yeah.
It's more of a survival film.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously horror elements, being killed by a bear, but
sure.
But it's fun, and so So thank you, Brad's parents, for telling me that movie was gross. I appreciate it.
Is it a real bear? Do they get a real bear to act in the movie?
Yeah.
I don't mean like it's not a ghost bear.
Well, there is a bear in the film.
Yeah.
And then they use obviously an animatronic bear though for the attack, so it looks really good.
Cool.
Because there's actually this really great tense scene where, before the bear attacks, the day before you see the bear like pushing its nose against the tent, and then the next morning, the boyfriend wakes up and he hears like scratching outside, and so he slowly unzips the tent and he looks out and there's a bear just like sitting out there, and so then he zips it down again, and then he zips it up and it's getting closer and he zips it down again. It's pretty awesome.
Neat.
So I mean, it's obviously you know what they're doing,
Yeah.
but it's still done really well. So,
Yeah.
and the director the cool thing he does though too is his beats are different every time he unzips it. So it's not like he unzips it, then 1, 2, unzips it, 1, 2. It's
Right.
1, 2, still goes. Then he unzips it. And then for the first couple times the bear hasn't even moved.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. It's well done. I had fun watching it. And the Blu-ray's fun. It has a 20-minute making of and a commentary. So for $10, you know, there's definitely worse movies.
Right.
I rewatched when I was at Tradesmart last week. I got a bunch of comedies that I've had on DVD for a long time, and I just never upgraded on Blu-ray. And I kind of wait till they're $6, and then I get 2 of them, and so I spend $7 on 2 classic comedies.
Yeah.
So this week I rewatched Superbad.
Cool.
Because we were in my classes, we've been doing fake IDs and stuff, so they've been showing clips from Superbad. So it made me really want to watch it, and that movie is still really funny.
Yeah.
It's interesting seeing how far those kids have grown, because
yeah.
that movie is 8 years old.
Wow.
So seeing Emma Stone being 19, 20 is a trip.
Yeah.
Because she looks like a kid in that.
Uh-huh.
But now she's this beautiful woman in Spider-Man and other things. So great for her, because she's really had a great career.
Yeah.
The movie's still funny. Christopher Mintz-Plasse is amazing as Fogel.
Yeah.
I still laugh. I always laugh every time when he's been with the cops for a little bit, and Jonah Hill and Michael Cera are being told to prone out by Bill Hader's police officer, and as they get out, Fogel gets out and he's smoking a cigarette, and it's in slow motion and it looks really cool, and he flicks it away. And there's a slow motion on Jonah Hill, and he's mouthing, "What the fuck?" It's just really funny. Everything. I just laugh every time I see that movie. I've seen it many times, but I still laugh at it all the time.
It's really good.
It is. So I had a lot of fun watching that. And the last thing I watched this week is I watched Choke.
Oh, why?
Because my wife wanted to watch it.
Oh,
and it's not good.
Uh-huh.
I was super bored watching that movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
You don't want it to. The only thing that bums me out is Clark Gregg is the director and writer. So
Really?
Yeah, Agent Coulson.
Oh.
And he's in the film, and he's pretty. There's some funny parts. Sam Rockwell plays a sex addict, is basically the premise of the film.
Yeah.
And he basically lies to everybody, and his mom is Angelica Houston, who's in this retirement home, and she's kind of has Alzheimer's, so she doesn't remember stuff.
Sure.
And so he lies to everybody, and he's a con man, and he goes into restaurants and pretends to choke, but he really is choking, and he looks for rich people to save him so he can kind of mooch off of them, whatever. The movie's stupid. But you do get to see Britta from Community naked. So there's that. She plays a stripper in it. Gillian Anderson and Michael Jacobs. I forget her name.
Gillian Jacobs, yeah.
Yeah, Gillian Jacobs. The movie is just, I was bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only funny parts is Clark Gregg plays the runner of this old, colonial village, and he gets mad at everybody when they break character, and it's kind of funny. And he talks like colonial America all the time, so it's kind of funny.
Okay.
The rest of the time I was just like, this is boring. And it's one of those movies that I think it was an hour and a half, and it felt like it was 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Because nothing really happens. And Sam Rockwell may be the only movie I've seen him in where I wasn't interested in who he was.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Does he dance?
No. He
Oh
doesn't,
my
he doesn't have a Justin Hammer dance.
What?
Yeah. And he might dance. I don't know. I remember it's stupid.
You may have blacked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, and I've never been a big Palahniuk fan. Like, I don't like Fight Club that much, and so I was just, we almost saw, ironically, since we mentioned it earlier in this episode, I remember the night where we were making decision. We wanted to go see a movie, and it was either Choke or The Miracle at St. Anna.
Oh,
and
man.
we went to see The Miracle at St. Anna.
You would have lost either way. Because I forgot to ask my wife if she liked it, but I was bored.
Yeah.
I started folding laundry.
Yeah.
And you know how much I love film, so
Right.
me not being able to watch it, man, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, and especially with Sam Rockwell in there, like it's supposed to be, you know.
You would hope that he'd be fun, and my little boy's making noises, making me laugh. But the good thing is she rented it from the library, so it was free.
Oh, good.
So it didn't hurt anybody.
That's right, everybody. When you want to go see Choke, get it at your local public library.
I know, she got it on DVD, too.
What? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter.
But it's weird when you watch movies, even when they're upconverted on my, HD TV and my Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
They're still, seem super full of dirt and dark.
They are.
So, I have a hard time watching DVDs now.
Yeah.
The TV cartoons aren't so bad, but the movies are.
Yeah, TV shows in general, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I haven't upgraded my Alias or anything like that because that seems great. It's also not on Blu-ray.
It's on Blu-ray. Can you upgrade it?
No, I'm just saying shows like that I'm
Yeah.
fine with, but because I'll even buy one every now and then. Community never even came out on Blu-ray.
I know, that sucks. I watch it on DVD all the time.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what I watched this week.
Cool. I'll start off with I did go see. This wasn't technically this week. This was the week before, but we did a film explosion last week. Went and saw Jaws at the Alamo.
Nice.
And that was really cool. It was digitally projected, and it was clearly based on the Blu-ray re-release because the colors were corrected and the scenes that I happen to know were repaired.
I think it's still one of the best looking Blu-rays, though.
Oh, it is. It is. I was actually glad that it was digital because it looked so good. It's a great movie. And then a couple of days later, went and saw The Color Purple there.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
It went great. Basically, listeners will remember that we hosted that episode or that film there. So I just got up and talked a little bit about why that movie's important inside of the canon of Spielberg films, and because it's if you go back and look at who he was as a director at the time, the analogy I made was that it'd be like if tomorrow Christopher Nolan or J.J. Abrams decided we're going to make a Holocaust film or just some really heavy drama. He wasn't known for that kind of stuff at the time. Now you look at Steven Spielberg and you're like, oh yeah, Schindler's List and Amistad and Lincoln and all these other movies that he's made. But this was a really big risk for him. So it had been about a year since I saw The Color Purple, and man, especially seeing it in theaters, really sitting and watching that movie. I was an emotional wreck.
I mean, because that movie is really good, but it seems
it's
tough to watch,
devastating. And I mean, the end is beautiful and uplifting and great. But the whole last, I wasn't.
Dude, the end
wasn't
made me
sad.
cry.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen it in so long, and then we watched it for 85 Film Explosion.
Yeah,
I was like, oh. There's something in the air.
As soon as they start singing and walk into the church and the daughter is gonna reconcile with her preacher dad, that's when I first started the heavy breathing and the oh no,
and you know it's coming and you still do it.
Yes.
Yep.
And then there's a couple scenes or while that's happening is all the setup for the end of the movie, and then there's the shot of Celie coming out onto her porch. And there's these people standing on the other end of the field, and that purple shawl blows up in the wind, and it's a
the
gorgeous
color
shot.
purple.
And then they start to run and they yell each other's names, and at that point I'm just done. Just waterworks. I was just done.
What a beautiful film.
That movie is so good. And it was interesting watching it. I worked the trick on myself. So the whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm looking at the tricks that he uses, and man, there's the scene where Donald Glover's gonna clearly rape Nettie, where he's following her on horseback and she's walking and she speeds up. Dude, he's the shark from Jaws. You watch him use the tools that he has from making the other movies, but he uses them in a drama in this way that is so cool. So yeah, that's
why he's the best filmmaker around.
Fantastic film. So that was really cool.
Was it a big turnout for that movie?
No one was there. There was
Really?
like 10 people in the theater.
It seems like it's a tough movie. To
Oh
sell.
yeah. And on
How
Monday
many people
night,
would go see Schindler's List? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great film, but you got to be in the right mind frame.
I think that like Monday night of a holiday was not the right time to show it, right? Like everybody on Labor Day, they all want to go see like a fun movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like you show that on a Saturday on like a sad weekend, you know? When everybody really wants that. So the other piece about it was that it was advertised as being in 35 millimeter, but they got the 35 millimeter print, and Steve had texted me that day and was like, hey, the print is just trashed. Like, it's just not good. So they ended up projecting it digitally, which, again, looked gorgeous. Like, it was really great. But this one guy came up, and I felt kind of bad, because he said, wait, it's like, it's going to be digital? Because I announced it before the movie. And, what's that called? DCP? Anyway, I think it's DCP. And he comes up and he's like, well, so it's not on film, it's digital? And I was like, yeah, it is. The other one was just trash. And he's like, ugh. I was like, yeah, but I mean, at least it'll look good. And he's like, well, or I said, oh, I'm sorry, the other one was just really trash. And he says to me, still looks better than digital. I was like, no, no, it doesn't. Like, I felt bad because he made some reference to like, oh, I drove all the way down here to see this on film. And I was like, I feel bad for you. Like, you were advertised something you didn't get. I feel bad for that. But it's not the film. Like, you know, that argument would be like saying, oh, I only read first edition printings of books.
Right.
Like, no, the story. It's the words. Like, it's the image. The image isn't better on film. Like, it is if the film is really crisp and clear, but it's not. If the film is destroyed, if the scenes aren't going to tie together properly, if the audio is going to be all garbled up, if it's not going to be a good experience and it's going to pull you out of the movie, if by the end of that movie you don't cry because you weren't invested in the film properly,
because you're distracted
because you keep getting distracted by the film, then no, it's not better. Like, I'm sorry. I don't understand that argument. I just don't. And I love movies.
Yeah,
but
it's not a good one.
I love movies. I don't love film. Like, film stock is not what I love.
I agree.
So it was just, that was kind of frustrating, but still feel sorry for the guy, but whatever. Last couple of things is that I've almost finished the whole first season of Blacklist, which Brad had recommended. And it's good. It's a cool premise for a show. It's a really cool premise for a show. Basically it's kind of like an Alias, but almost in reverse. So James Spader plays this guy who has been sort of on the criminal underground, like an evil spy, sort of. He's the guy that everybody, if you want to get out of the country or you want to go somewhere without anybody knowing, he's the guy that you call if you're a criminal mastermind. And so he knows everybody. And so he turns himself into the CIA and is like, hey, like, here are my terms. I will help you go find all these people, because he's got this, quote, blacklist of people he knows who he wants to have eliminated for one reason or another. And there's this woman, and her name is whatever. I don't even remember now because it's just some show. But so he's like, I will only work with whatever her name is. So go get her. And it's like fucking telegraphed that she is his daughter, like so hard. And then they try to pretend like you don't know, or like they pretend like it's a mystery. But I'm like, dude, I've seen movies before. Like, I'm not new. Come on now. So that part of it is really annoying. They do the same thing with her husband, where there's this mystery early on of like, is he a spy too? Is he working against her and all of this, but maybe he's not. But he is. Like, it wouldn't be an interesting story if he wasn't. But even where I am now, like, they telegraph the next move before they ever play it. So like, right now, he's very clearly a spy. Like, it's very much revealed he's a spy. But I can tell you with absolute certainty, they're going to reveal that, yeah, he was a spy, but then he fell in love with her. And now he doesn't want to be. And then he's going to end up being a counter spy. Like,
so he's like Jason Bourne at the beginning of The Bourne Supremacy?
Yes! Yes, he's like every spy movie you've ever seen. But the week-to-week stories are pretty cool. They scratch the itch. Like, if you wanted an Alias show, they scratch that itch again. A lot of like, hey, we got to break into this big party and like kidnap this guy or kill this guy or do whatever. We got to catch these people and they're bad people. And every episode there's a bad person who's special. Like this guy makes people disappear and this woman steals money in this special way and this person does that. Like they have like the speciality to them. There's no like big Rambaldi device story yet, but I'm sure it'll come up at some point. So basically what I'm saying, there's shows like Alias.
You don't have to worry about Ben Affleck impregnating anybody.
I don't know. He's getting a divorce. Maybe he's going to meet up this lady and like next thing you know, whatever her name is going to be pregnant. Son of a bitch, Ben Affleck. Affleck. Oh man. Yeah, Blacklist is pretty good. If you want a show that's not quite as good as Alias, then that's not a bad option. Also caught up on the very last season of The League. That was a pretty good one. It's the Teflondre season.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, because it just launched on Amazon or on Netflix, so that was good. And then the very last thing was that today I got a chance to watch Z for Zachariah.
Oh, cool.
Because it's not in theaters anymore because it just disappeared. But you can get it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much is it to rent?
$6.
Oh,
yeah. So it's what you would pay if you went to a matinee.
Yeah.
Right. And so Z for Zachariah is basically exactly what you would expect from the trailer. Like if you want an hour and a half of sexual tension with Margot Robbie, that's what you're going to get.
Nice.
It's the story of a world where some kind of radiation thing happened and most of the world is uninhabitable, but Margot Robbie lives with her dog and her cute hat and shorts up in like the hills of like Kentucky or something.
Sounds about right.
She lives in a holler as you would. And in this holler there's the radiation is livable. So she's fine. So she's got like a little farm, and it's apparently been like a year and a half since everything fell apart. And her dad and her brother have left, and so she's all alone with her dog. And Chiwetel Ejiofor shows up, and he's got like this. He's like a scientific engineer dude. He was in like a bunker, and he stayed there for a while.
Transcendence.
Yeah, he came out of Transcendence. He came out of the Transcendence bunker. Yeah,
that was him in Transcendence, right?
I don't remember.
Wasn't he like the cop in it?
Oh, shoot.
I think so.
Dude, I intentionally forgot most things.
I was trying to be clever
Transcendence.
there, but now I'm going to have to look it up to make sure my joke is going to land.
Well, the joke works just because, like, that bunker from the end of Transcendence, that's exactly where he was. So he leaves the Transcendence bunker, and he runs into her. Oh, because he's just like, oh, dude, like, I was down there, and I was okay, but I was underground. Like, I was never going to see the sky again. So he was like, I got this suit. I got this radiation suit. Put together a little cart, started walking. And he's had a hard time. The kind of neat thing about the movie is that it starts with her finding him, and the scene where he finds this valley where the radiation is it's not so bad. It feels like the end of another movie, right? So you could have made a movie about the world ending, and Chiwetel Ejiofor's got to fight his way out of this bunker, and he gets out there, and he hopes he can find some place that's safe, and he finally finds this place that's safe, and here's a scene where he just like breaks down and cries on the side of the road, and like the emotion is just like, he does a really good job is what I'm saying.
He's not in it, so I'm wrong.
That's okay. It was still a good joke. The bunker was in Transcendence, so it still played. And then what happens is he realizes like, oh, this place is safe, and she's watching him from the distance, and he runs down into this lake, and he starts like cheering and bathing in this lake, and she's like, oh shit. So she runs down, and she's like, you dummy. Yes, there's no radiation in the valley, but that water comes in by a river that's outside the valley, so you're swimming in radiation. So he gets really sick, and she takes care of him and nurses him back to health. And they start to fall in love, and there's a lot of like long shots of them like oogling each other from afar. And he comes up with the idea of he wants to build a water wheel in that waterfall, the radiation waterfall that he was swimming in before, so that they can get electricity. But the only resources that they have is this church that her dad built. There's all this pre-cut wood and sanded down wood, so that he's like, I could take apart that church and build the water wheel, and then we would have electricity. And there's some strife there because like she's like, no, like you can't have my dad's church. And they come to a place where they're like, okay, well whatever, we're just gonna live our lives and this will be great. And then Chris Pine shows up.
Uh-oh, sexy voice Chris Pine.
Yeah, so Chris Pine shows up and he's like, I'm also attractive. and so then there becomes this whole love triangle, and like Chiwetel Ejiofor starts getting paranoid, and like, you know, they start working on how are they going to build this water wheel, and then there's tension. And then there just stays tension. And I won't spoil the way the movie ends because I actually think it's really good. You know, it's only about an hour and a half long. It's a pretty easy watch. I think the acting is all really good. Oh, there he goes, just wandering around. Hey, buddy, I like your shirt. But it's the acting is really good. I think there's some really awesome themes. There's a number of scenes in there that just feel like they're just really well written, dramatic scenes. It's the kind of science fiction that I like, where it's people telling a good story about humans in a fantastical world. So that was pretty good. I would definitely recommend it. So, hey, buddy. What's going on? Huh?
What do you think about Z from Zachariah, Kellen?
Yeah. Margot Robbie is a pretty lady. I agree. Yeah.
Do you think she'll be a good Harley Quinn?
Very good, yeah. I think
Cool,
so.
buddy. Thank you.
She'll be good. She'll be good.
That's a great review, Kellen.
Bye. There he goes.
Love you. Play with Mommy's Kindle.
Throw it as hard as you can. There you go.
There you go.
Good job.
Good job, buddy. Good job. Uh-oh, there's Mommy.
It's not his fault, Laura. We told him to do it. Yeah. So Z for Zachariah is on Amazon. Check it out.
Is it worth $6?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Cool.
Yeah.
I probably will then.
It's one of the better films I've seen recently. So
very cool. Yeah. This is a comic book you should read.
Hey man, read this.
I told you, I don't like horror comics.
Think of it more as a survival manual. There's a number on the back. And pray that you never need to call us.
We're dedicated to a higher purpose. We're fighters for truth, justice, and the American way.
Is it me this week?
It's yeah.
You are such a piece of crap.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst.
Because I'm just going to do an easy out.
Okay. Spider-Man.
No. You should go to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Okay.
Go to their trade paperback section.
Sure.
And under the I section at the very beginning, there's a section that says I Kill Giants.
Oh!
And you should definitely pick up I Kill Giants and read it before the movie comes out.
Yeah.
So you can see why me and James love it so much.
It's so good.
Because, one, the art is really cool in it. Two, the writing by Joe Kelly is amazing. And when you think you know what the story is, you don't know what the story is.
That asshole made me cry in public.
Yep. So I will say again with this, I think we've recommended it like 4 times.
More.
And hopefully we can get through to some people.
Yeah.
The thing is when you're done with it, make sure you read the afterwords by Joe Kelly.
Yeah.
Because they'll make you cry again.
Yes, they will.
Because he's a great writer.
Oh, man.
But just know it's a great story. It's about a young girl who is going through some traumatic events in her life, and she also has to kill giants.
Oh, man. My friends are giving birth to their first little girl today. I got to go buy them a copy of that.
Oh, you should do that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. If you got kids, make them read this book.
It is. It's wonderful because,
I
I said...
Maybe don't make them read it until they're like 10 or 12.
Yeah. But again, the story is she's a troubled young girl.
She's a nerd.
Yeah, but she also has emotional issues.
Yes.
Because she has to kill giants.
Yes. Nicely done, sir.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil this fucking book.
No.
But there is giants. There's Pixie in it.
Yeah, there's giants
pixies
in their backyard and pixies all over the place that she talks to and has fun with. And
yeah, they're sometimes funny little naked cherubs, and it's, Yeah.
It's a beautiful book.
It is.
Man.
Everybody should pick it up.
Yeah.
So, I Kill Giants is, once again, the Real Nerds pick of the week.
That's the kind of film that I will take my niece to go see someday. When she's old enough.
Very, very good.
Instead of Minions 2.
No, she'll see Minions 2.
Beetle.
Remember that?
Yes, I hear it in my nightmares.
I know. I saw Laura came home from your party with Minions
I know.
Kleenex box.
Yeah,
Is that yours?
No, my mom gave that to her to give to you.
Nice.
Like she specifically was like, "Oh, we need to give this to Ryan."
Sweet.
Yeah.
I
So
love
now you too have a Minions.
I know. And then every
Kleenex
time
box.
I blow my nose, I'm like, "Oh, thanks,
It's
Carol."
here's the thing: that Kleenex box, I keep it in my car, so I'm gonna have it forever. Like I'm
Nice.
never gonna use all those Kleenex boxes or all those Kleenexes.
Yep. I got my wife a Minions pint glass.
Great.
Of Bob because he's the funniest one. He's a little like kid one, and he's like short, and he becomes king. Remember? That's funny.
He had a couple of funny scenes, yeah.
Anyways, this week we saw M. Night Shyamalan's
The Visit.
James, should people go see The Visit?
Oh fuck! You had to go with me first. Oh,
well, yeah,
man.
I'm hosting and I'm asking.
So, all right.
I mean, you can go to me first. Would you want me to start?
No, I'll go first. It's just, I'm going to warn you, this is going to be one of the slightly longer ones. So, last night watched a review, and like we decided to do this movie because we were like, there's nothing else coming out. Why don't we just go see this movie because we know it's probably going to be bad, and then it'll make for a fun podcast, right? And then last night I see this review where somebody's like, oh, it's actually a really pretty like coherent horror film. And so then I was like,
IGN gave it 8 out of 10.
yeah. So then I was like, oh shit, like is this just going to be a horror film? Like if it's just a horror film, it's not for me. So I'm very confused by this film because for me, there's a lot of really great stuff in this movie.
Okay,
like,
so now you see this morning when I was trying to explain it to you.
Yes, so frustrated.
Yeah.
So frustrated. So there's a lot of really, really great stuff in this movie. Unfortunately, there's also a story about old people killing kids, or just crazy old people, right? The movie is frustrating for me because it both ensures for me that M. Night is still really talented and can tell really fantastic, heartwarming, character-driven films. This is a found footage movie with old people who go crazy in it. And so I have no idea who should see this movie. It's totally a mess, but I had a good time.
Really?
I think? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who should see this movie. I don't know if people should see this movie. I don't know. I don't know, Ryan. Tell me what to think.
I say rent it. I don't think you need to go see it. Someone who has seen many, many, many horror films.
Yeah.
And found footage films, it brings absolutely nothing new to the table.
Nope. Well,
but
as far as a horror movie is concerned, it brings nothing new to the table.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
As a horror film, nothing. But I will say, I love the little boy in it.
Yeah.
I was not fond of. You know what? Let's play the trailer before I start explaining stuff. Or do you want me to finish? I wasn't very fond of the young girl.
Right.
In some moments,
she's got her Jurassic Park moments where she's like, "I'm a hacker," and you're like, "God damn."
Yes, because here's the thing: is I loved the character until she said things like they're just old people.
Oh, right.
Because to me, that's stupid. For someone who's as smart as she is,
right.
She should not say, "Oh, they're old." I looked it up online.
Right.
Come on, dude.
Yes.
That's the horror film.
The horror film part of the film is not very good.
That's what irked me about it.
Yes.
And hi. And that's the thing that always frustrates me with M. Night Shyamalan as a filmmaker.
Okay.
Is I see talent in him. I love The Sixth Sense. I adore Unbreakable.
Yeah.
But then he decided to make Signs, and then
The
he
Village
made
is
The Village.
awesome. Yeah.
No, they're not.
The Village is great. What a great movie The
And
Village
then he
is.
started becoming, I'm the guy who does twists. So I have to have every movie I make have a twist to it.
There's no twist in Signs.
There is a twist in Signs.
Go ahead.
This film, he decides to play it straight. And see, here's the thing. He decides to play it straight to the detriment of telling the story.
Yeah, he unfortunately decides to make a horror movie to the detriment of telling the story.
That's what I'm saying. Here's a trailer for The Visit.
Yeah, but if you're not interested, go ahead and listen through to this movie because I think this is going to be a really fun one to talk about.
Yep.
Every day it's getting close.
Are you holding my camera properly? Swerve, girl.
Stop, both of you.
Yours will surely come.
Hi, Mom. My parents asked if their grandchildren could visit them for a week.
Here we are. This is where our mom grew up. I've wanted to spend time with you for so long.
Miss you guys.
Mom, we're having a great time.
I have not seen your Nana this happy in years. Bedtime here is 9:30. It's probably best you two shouldn't come out of your room after that. See you in the morning.
9:30? 9:30. What is that? It's 10:47. We think there's someone outside the door. What the hell was that?
I think Nana's not feeling well.
Grandmother's fine. It's like somebody talking in their sleep.
What's he doing? They're weird during the day.
I was just cleaning it.
And even weirder at night?
Mom, there's something wrong with Nana and Papa.
They're just old. Bear with it for a couple of days.
Nana, you okay?
They're hiding something.
It's just the end of your trip.
I'm sad it's all over. We're gonna get you.
Papa!
Let's make it a perfect night.
What is that?
Mom, you need to come right now.
Would you mind getting inside the oven to clean it?
Stop! Nana, stop!
He is so fucking cute. I love my little boy.
So, there is a twist, but we'll get to it. We'll get to that part.
So the premise of the movie is, you got it from the trailer. These two kids are going to their grandparents' house, and one of the young lady is a filmmaker,
right?
And she's making a film because her mom has walked out on him 15 years ago, 19 years ago. I don't remember.
Her
the
mom
exact
is
year.
estranged with her parents. So
Yes.
she hasn't seen her parents in 15 years, and so the daughter wants to make a documentary about it because she thinks it's going to be this big moment about, like, you know, showing what estranged families look like and bringing her grandparents back in with her mom and, like, she wants to help her mom.
I love the found footage idea of it.
It's so awesome.
I love the idea of it.
And really well told, really well acted, really well written.
Yes.
Because there are moments where I was like, oh.
Her brother, I love that character.
Yes. He's got all the great quirks of a Shyamalan character, right? Where, like, he says things in weird ways, the way that I'm sure Shyamalan's kids really talk every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, he's got weird quirks about him, like he wants to be a rapper.
And I love that he replaces curse words with female pop artists.
That is a Shyamalan kind of thing. Like, that is a Shyamalan character trait. Like, he does that shit, and I love it.
That's what I mean. There's parts of me that want to love Shyamalan.
Yeah!
And in that movie, I'm like, okay.
Yeah!
I'm telling you, when this movie started and she was interviewing her mom,
yes.
I was like, okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm in this movie.
Right.
I don't like found footage.
Right.
But if you're going to tell something different, I'm on board.
And he also makes the smart decision, at least for me, of saying, look, it's a found footage movie, so go with me on that, but I'm going to shoot it like it's well shot.
Exactly.
So it's not annoying to look at.
And that's why
he gives them cameras that we can use.
That's why I give him props, because it doesn't have the super shaky camera.
Right.
It's this little...
When there are super shaky camera moments, it's for a reason. So like when she tries to break the handle off the door and the camera's like going all over the place.
Exactly.
It's good. And it's a cool moment because it's a moment where she's deciding to forego the film in order to free herself.
Exactly.
Oh, so cool.
Because the film is what's holding her back.
Right.
That's what's... But then the movie decides...
to be a horror movie.
To be a horror film. And obviously I love horror, but the problem is everything they do in it is like every found footage movie that's ever been made.
Yeah.
It slowly builds tension. It's a little more crazy. A little more crazy. A little more crazy.
And with no inciting force. There's not like a reason why it's more crazy. It's just like...
But here's the thing too, is what makes me frustrated and also admire Shyamalan is I think he's a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
I really think he is.
Yeah.
And the part that I think was actually pretty well done was when they're playing hide and seek under the house.
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with this lady?
And then she comes out.
And she's laughing at him.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of believable. And then she turns away, and it gets weird.
Yeah.
And you're like, ah.
And that part's weird. And the thing is he knows how to do horror, though. But
yes,
the payoff sometimes just doesn't work. Even the part where she's like running through the house, I think is creepy.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's the one at night, and then she crawls towards the
yeah, because her hands are back. And then what I love too, the levity the next day, where the little boy is like making fun of her, in the woods. You know, he's like, "Who am I?"
Right.
And I think that's how little kids would act.
Right.
You know,
the problem is that he foregoes. He doesn't build tension as much as show you horror stuff. Like, he gives you horror scenes.
Yeah.
Like the ones where they peek out the door. Where, if you hadn't seen that, if you just heard the noise, and there had just been this mystery of it, then it would have made more sense. Or you'd seen that, but in more light. So you're just like, oh, that's just weird. But it's framed in such a way where you're like, no, that's horrible. Like, if I were in that situation, I'd be like, no, fuck all of this. I'm not there's not going to be levity the next day because I don't want to be here anymore. Whereas I think what he's trying to do with the levity is bring you back to this place of like, no, these kids don't quite get it because they think, because this is all stuff that like old people are prone
and they're
to
trying
do.
to repair the relationship. I get that part, but I don't like some of the dialogue. The dialogue sometimes, the excuses for the kids to be stupid, that just makes me mad.
Right. Because he writes these characters too well for them to be in this situation for so damn long.
When she says stuff saying they're just old, it takes me out of the movie because she is so smart and she's a great character, but then she has a dumb character line.
So you got all this crazy shit happening where like grandma's running around being crazy at night, getting naked and scratching all over the doors, and then on the third night or fourth night of doing this, and your brother's like, I want to put camera up and watch this shit and see what's happening. You say, well, no, that's against my filmmaker policies of code 247. Mm-hmm. No, you put the camera up there. Like, that was one of those moments where I was like, this is dumb. Why are you being stupid?
And then they follow that up with that awesome scene of him interviewing her.
Yeah.
And he's moving the camera in, and he's saying things to her, and she's heartbroken.
That scene is fucking awesome.
Take out this stupid shit. It seems like he's shoehorning in these horror elements in a movie where it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, I just wanted a movie where, like, he talks to his sister. Like, that's how good the parts where he and his sister are talking to each other are, where I just wanted them to talk to each other about how hard it is to lose your dad.
That's the thing that always irks me with the latest Shyamalan stuff is, yes, he's a smart filmmaker, but he doesn't need to resort to stupid filmmaking tricks.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, here's the thing, is, he has that great moment where she finally sits down with the grandmother to do the interview.
Mm.
And the grandma talks about the people that live in the pond.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what is he doing? Is he doing a stupid thing? And then he's like, I'm just kidding. Like, I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's great. Because his sense of humor, just in all of his films, is really like slightly bizarre, but always works well in the film.
Exactly.
I mean, with the exception of like the bad movies.
Yeah.
The films we don't speak of, which are not The Village.
But this movie is so close to being a really good movie.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even there's like the frightening scenes to me is not when she's eating cookies really fast and says Yahtzee. I don't care. I don't care about that.
Yeah, that was
stuff.
dumb.
But
that scene was good because it was funny because she's eating the cookies and the boy's sitting there and he's like,
we're having
really?
fun. Yeah. See, that's cool. But see, I think actually the most effective scare in the movie is when the kids are like, let's get out of here. And they open the door and you see in the distance that lady just hanging from the tree, I think is amazing.
Yeah.
That subconscious, that quick thing is what, the scene with the alien in Signs where he's walking up the roof. That's what it is. It's that scene where you're like, did I just see that? What did I just see? Yeah. I love that stuff.
Better is the turn of the leg in the woods, but that shot's good.
But
good.
It's this movie's close. I love the little boy in it. I love when they're trying to stay away from him, waiting for their mom to come up, and he's throwing the ball up in the air and just spinning around. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, this is how kids play.
Oh, that was great.
But then then you have the stupid horror thing where the old man craps his pants and puts the poop in his face. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
You don't
Well,
need that.
it was just because there has to be this climax where the crazy people start actually getting crazy and violent, and it's just not. It's not very good.
Exactly.
Because once the thing that makes them terrifying is that you can't hurt them because they're old people. But once they're crazy, you could totally hurt them. Like the reveal, and we're going to start getting into spoils here, but the reveal that they're not demons, they're not supernatural in any way. No, they're just old people. She's a really old lady. Just hit her.
Yeah.
Just even if you're like 14 years old, you can hit an old lady and hurt her real bad.
See, this is where I think the movie falls apart too. And big spoilers.
Yeah.
This is the twist. So when the kids hold up the Skype,
yeah,
and they say they're right out there, she's like, "Those aren't your grandparents. You've been seeing those people the whole time."
Yeah,
that's cool.
I liked it. They got me with that. They totally got me with that.
I don't like that. Oh, they're crazy people that escape from the hospital they work at.
Right.
To me, that's a horror cliche.
Yes.
So then you start.
But everything about it is a horror cliche. Like,
yeah. So then Then the ending, I'm like, eh.
Right.
It's not scary. It's everything I've seen before.
Yeah.
Trying to be scary with the crazy old lady with her hand underneath the bed is not scary.
No.
But the scene where she's, finally saying this movie isn't worth it, I'm going to break the camera. I love it. So the movie's frustrating to me because I thought it would have been more interesting if it was their grandparents. If it was really who they were and they were that way, then I would have been happier.
But what's great about it is the thing that I end up loving about it is that because it's not their grandparents, we're able to get the last scene. Because the last scene is
I guess
awesome. Like
the rap?
Yes, right. So when they go back, no, not the rap. Right, the second to last scene. So when she goes back and interviews her mom, and her mom reveals the truth of the scene, and it is the truth of what happened, and it is a very realistic, normal thing that happens, and then there's this heartbreaking second drop where she says oh no, you wanted to go and make this documentary to get me forgiveness, but it was always there. I always had it, I just never forgave myself. And you're just like, oh shit. And that's the Shyamalan twists I like.
But I guess
those
too,
are the moments where
you find out that her parents weren't really bad people. She just made a bad mistake.
Right.
And I mean that's cool, but
then it becomes a story about her imprisoning herself and then how that imprisons her kids and all of that. That's way more fascinating than any of this shit about sundowning and trying to make old people scary. I don't like the part where it's a horror movie, Ryan.
Me either. It's too cliched.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's mostly well made. I mean, if anybody else had been given a script for, hey, here's a movie where some kids get tortured by some old people, it probably wouldn't have been as good as this one. But at the same time, unless it were really one of those horror master people that you talk about, unless it were Scott Derrickson. But if he were going to make this movie, I don't think it would have been a movie about scary old people.
No, it wouldn't have been.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's a frustrating movie because I still just don't know how I feel.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
The Village is really good.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura. The Village is really good.
Yeah, well,
Man,
you and James can watch it together.
It's a really great, just heartwarming, beautiful story. You know what I love? You know what I really liked about the Visit? I really liked how many shots of trees against sky there were. Because M. Night's really good at filming trees against the sky. Like he does in The Village.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, check out The Village.
Yep.
It's out on Blu-ray, I think.
So yeah, we probably didn't help you with The Visit, though.
No.
Next week, we didn't do the box office, but whatever.
Oh, shoot, we didn't.
Next week, I don't know. Everest is playing in IMAX. Black Mass and...
I ain't seeing no Black Mass.
Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials.
I'm not seeing Maze Runner. So I think we're seeing Everest.
It's only in IMAX, 3D.
Does that mean we've got... Oh, is Sicario limited release next week?
It's in 6 theaters next week.
Oh, okay. So probably not ours.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see if we can get tickets to Everest, and if not, then we'll see.
Figure something out
about Ray. After Ray decides to transition from female to male, Ray's never mind. No, we won't see that.
September 25th, I'm going to actually put it out. Green Inferno is coming out. And yes, it's an Eli Roth film, but one of my friends, Tommy, wants to come on the show and talk about it. And
Okay.
he is a horror film expert.
Cool.
So we'll be seeing The Green Inferno, and it'll probably be that Saturday. He has the day off, and he said he really wants to come on the show.
Cool. Well, I'll go see The Keeping Room, and then you guys can see Green Inferno.
Sounds
'cause
good.
I ain't seeing that.
Sounds good. So yeah, thanks for listening as always.
Cool.
Well, I'll tweet out the movie we're going to see as always.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Until next week, bye.
Bye.
Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find them on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.
Hey, so spoil the end of Halloween 6 Electric Sticks for me.
Electric Boogaloo. So Michael chases them or they follow him to some hospital.
Okay.
And in the basement of the hospital, you find out that there's some cult that he's a part of.
Okay.
And the way they stop him is they build some sort of shrine thing on the floor.
Okay.
A circle, and he walks into it and can't move. And then they leave.
This is the theatrical version of the
This is the producer's cut.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
That's the end of the film?
Yep.
They don't shoot him with a shotgun or nothing?
Paul Rudd and Donald Pleasance literally walk by him. Yep. I just told you how that movie ended.
Alrighty. Well, I'm not gonna see that. Is Paul Rudd funny? Does he show up on a motorcycle?
No, he doesn't show up on a motorcycle and jump off it and walk away like it's cool. If that was in that movie, I would recommend it.
Alright, okay.
But yeah, it's not good. No, I don't think anything they could have done would have helped that movie.
Okay. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, sure.